Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, depending upon where you are around the world. I am Marcus Holmes, and I'm the HR passion guy and love activist here with the close of our week 5, day 5 Gratefulness Challenge. And I'm hoping that you will click share and tag someone to join us. I am live across a couple of platforms, LinkedIn Live, via Restream, on Facebook Live, both on the Marcus R. Holmes page and on the Love and Stuff community page, as well as on Twitch TV, YouTube events, and on Instagram Live. So thank you for joining us. I see Tammy Bell has joined us. She is enjoying the fruits of retirement. I can't wait to hear how wonderful that is. And those of you that are on LinkedIn, if you can just drop in the comments where you are around the world. Well, this is the Gratefulness Challenge, and we've been doing it for the last 5 weeks as we talk more about gratefulness and the book, which I'll show you, I think, in a moment. I think I have one handy. The Gratefulness Journey every day. What are you doing in the next 30 days to transform your life? We decided to, as a part of launching the book and as a part of introducing people to more regular gratefulness as a part of their life, that we would do a gratefulness challenge. And it's simply one thing that you're grateful for each day for 5 days out of the 7 in the week. So not every day yet, but 5 days. And we started this on a Tuesday. So it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So those are the 5 days of the week that we are encouraging you to create a post about something for which you are grateful, and then include the hashtag Gratefulness Challenge. So we want to make sure that you include that hashtag Gratefulness Challenge, and we will be tracking with you. And each Saturday, we will touch bases right here to share moments of gratefulness. I see that there are some other folks joining us on LinkedIn. Thank you so much. I hope you will drop in the comments who you are and where you are around the world. I see Jarrell Tobert. I may be mispronouncing that. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. I hope you will click share and tag just a few folks to join us in this close of our Gratefulness Challenge this week. And then stay tuned, because we will announce what the Gratefulness Challenge is for next week. It's 5 days. It's just to increase your thoughts, your habit around gratefulness. And so if you're a person that's grateful, give me a like or love, and drop in the comments maybe something for which you are grateful. This week, each week we've had a focus, but this week's focus has been on gratefulness, things that we're grateful for that are around the springtime, because we're just entering into spring. And so we shared these 10 rituals of connection to try this spring from the Gottman Institute. And around them are so many opportunities for you to be able to find gratefulness. If you're out in your yard and you're working on the landscaping and growing plants and starting a garden, or maybe an outdoor picnic at one of these 60, 70 weather days you've experienced like we have, maybe some talk about those dreams and vision boards and plans, or cooking a meal together with someone that you've always wanted to try, saying I love you every day, being intentional about saying I love you every day, starting a book club together with family and or friends, updating your love maps using the Gottman card deck apps, helping somebody complete a project, or someone helping you complete a project, learning about the flowers that bloom in your neighborhood, and then imagining and then creating a space as if you were away on a staycation or vacation every day. So all of these are ways that can help to awaken the gratefulness in you. And so thank you, Terry Fairley, for joining us, and others that are joining us on LinkedIn. There are folks that are, Terry Fairley is on Facebook. But I hope those of you that are on whichever platform you're watching from, that you will drop in the comments, and those comments will then populate so that I can highlight them so everybody can see them. Drop in the comments that you have experienced gratefulness and what that gratefulness has meant or means to you. And so we're just here because I want to encourage you to join us on this Gratefulness Journey Challenge. Why should you join us? I love the question. If you are a person who wants to live with more gratefulness, and you understand, having been in this pandemic for the last year, that we could all use more gratefulness in the moments in our lives, that's why I want you to join. If you've ever been angry and didn't know what to do with that anger, or misused that anger, or if you've been disappointed, you didn't get the outcome for the input that you put into a person, thing, or project, right? If you have been betrayed, if you have felt um, uh, frustrated, any of those things that you have felt, grateful living, gratefulness can help you reframe that energy and have awe inspiring, in the moment gratefulness that you can use to power and transform your life. And so that's why I'm challenging you. If we were on the playground and I was in second or third grade, I might say, I double dog dare you, right? Anybody remember that? But what I'm saying is, I challenge you to join this gratefulness challenge, because it's the start of building a habit. Think about the habits in your life. I know that there's a lot of literature out there around habits, but here is something that I want you to hone in on, that I think you'll hear of anybody that's talking about habits and the science behind them. You have the habits that you have now. I have the habits that I have now because they serve you or me well. You don't have a habit that doesn't serve you well. Now, is it good for you? We could argue that, right? But it serves you well. It serves some purpose in you because you continue to do it. You haven't broken the habit, right? And so, what I want you to think about is the most powerful, positive habits that you have that you hardly give any thought to. You just do them. That requires you to think through it a little bit, to say, what do I do on autopilot? Some of us, when we wake up on autopilot, we're saying, thank you, Lord. I open my eyes. It's another day. Some people on autopilot wipe their eyes, right? Some people on autopilot get out of the bed and go to the bathroom and use the bathroom, lavatory. A lot of people have a habit that most people have to be reminded that they have. You tell me with a like or love if you have this habit. Do you wake up and roll over, besides the clock, if you still have one of those clocks? But do you wake up and roll over and check the notifications on your phone? Give me a like or love if you do that without fail. No one reminds you to check the notifications. The phone isn't buzzing or pinging. Just as of habit, you roll over and reach and look at the phone and look at your notifications. That is a habit. And it's a powerful habit, because you want to know, what did I miss, right? It's a habit that at first, maybe you gave some time and effort into it, put the phone down, said, I'm not going to check it every day. But you find yourself rolling over and checking it every day, right? These habits that you build that are powerful and almost seem second nature, you can leverage those whenever you want to build in a new habit. And that's why I raise them, because I want you to build this new habit around gratefulness. But just to say, I'm going to be more grateful and I'm going to spend time thinking about it, generally will not work as a habit. It works when you stack that habit. And that's what it's called, habit stacking. When you stack that habit with before and after as a sandwich in between, two habits that you do almost without thinking. And it's kind of, you can call forward. You can start it the night before and say, tomorrow, when I awaken and check my notifications, I'm going to spend 2 minutes thinking about what I'm grateful for. Then I'm going to go brush my teeth. And when you awaken, you'll be surprised that you'll check that notification and you'll remember, oh, the gratefulness. And you'll do it. And then you'll go to the next thing. Your brain starts to record that and says, you're feeling pretty good when you do that. Let Let me create you a shortcut so that you do all three of these as one of your morning habits every day. And that's how you stack habits. If you're trying to get rid of a bad habit, start to do that bad habit between two good habits. You will start feeling guilty and have friction. And you'll say, oh, wait, I don't think I should be doing that, because you're putting it between two powerful habits, and it'll start to have some friction there. And then you start to call to it at the night or whenever the day before you do it. And you say, when I go to do that, I'm going to do those other powerful habits. When I go to have that drink, if that's a bad habit for you, maybe it's excessive. You say, when I go to have that second drink, I'm going to go check my notifications. And then I'm going to go and brush my teeth, because I know that taste of liquor and teeth may not go together, or whatever the two habits that you have right together. And it'll help you to break that habit that you don't want to have. If you start to tell yourself, I don't want that habit, your brain remembers that. It remembers the friction, and it doesn't want friction for you. It wants peace and flow, so that when you have to think about complex things, the things that are automatic can automatically happen. And your brain has endless capacity to build these automatic habits, you see, so that you can get to the more complex things, so that you can think more clearly. Gratitude science says 49% more clearly, that your brain begins to declutter all of the pieces of information that comes to you, begins to put them in compartments and reminds you what you need to do first. It starts to do the heavy lifting, because it lets you put the light lifting on automatic. And then you begin to be able to focus in to give the innovation needed to some of that heavy lifting, and say, oh, here's a different outcome that I want. And so all of that can happen with stacking a habit like gratefulness. Now, why gratefulness? I'm glad you asked. Because the power of gratefulness, the power of the expression, the power of the joy and the chemical and hormonal releases that happen are game changers for your life. So the dopamine and serotonin and all of these things that get released in your body tells your body, hey, even though you're experiencing physical or mental or emotional pain, it's okay, because you can experience them through this lens and through this chemical and through this muscle building of gratefulness. Now that's powerful. That's powerful if gratefulness can rise up in you in a way that it speaks to the pain that you're experiencing. I said speaks to it. I didn't say replaces it. I didn't say it's numb you not to experience it. Mindfulness says that you sit in your experience. Gratefulness says that you take the power of good from it and do something with it. That's the best way I think I could describe that for you. So it's not that you're not going to ever experience pain and not going to need to sit in that pain and the reality that whatever in life has brought pain to you, but you get the power to take out of it whatever is positive in it and use it, and take the energy of it and use it for good, for your good and the good of others. And that's the power of gratefulness. If you've ever been locked into road rage, or you've ever been locked into just this unsettling frustration, your nerves, it's just some undercurrent, I challenge you this week to sit in that moment, drop your hands, sit in that situation. It's not the outcome you want. And then begin to think of the things in that situation or around the periphery for which you are grateful, and watch the shift of energy. Watch the shift of energy. So that's what we're going to be doing in this next week in our gratefulness challenge. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in just 1 second. I'm checking in. Thank you, Bilal, on Facebook. part of the Love and Stuff community. We love you, as well as Valerie Colbert Osamwadi. Thank you both for joining. I hope that if you have a moment, if you're on the Gratefulness Challenge, I know I saw a post in one of the weeks, Val, that you posted about your dad. I'd love to share that. And as we move to Mother's Day and Father's Day, I'll be looking for people who want to give their gratefulness lessons around that. We're going to certainly be talking about that soon as we move into week 7. We're going into week 6 now, but when we get to week 7, that precedes Mother's Day, we're going to be talking about grateful lessons from our mothers, and mothers living, mothers deceased. What are those things? I'm actually getting a reaction right now thinking about some of the lessons, this one in particular, right? But many lessons that my mother gave to me. And so we will be reflecting on those as we lead into the Mother's Day week. And we would love to have videos from you about your moms. You can inbox me on any of these platforms to share some of those videos that we will highlight during that Gratefulness Challenge week as we go into Mother's Day. But as we go into this next week, using that power of gratefulness in the moment. And I want you to share in the moment next week about how you are trying to use gratefulness in the moment. So I want you to share a little bit from your moments, your personal moments next week, of how you're thinking about gratefulness and what's happening to you. What are you feeling? What are you sensing? What are you seeing around you? Anything different? So we will be sharing those next week as we go through the Gratefulness Challenge next week. And so I want to just double back because we have gone for 5 weeks. And after week 7, we're going to have a big challenge opportunity for you to take it just to the next level. Even if you joined us in week 4, if you're just joining us today, or if you join us next week, if you decide to share this with somebody and they join, we'll do a review, go back just to give you a review of what we were doing and how we got to this point. But then after week 7, we'll kind of feel like we've completed this leg of the journey, if you will. And as we go into week 8, we're going to talk a little bit about a new beginning, about another level, right? Another level of gratefulness that I think will certainly, the book says it will transform your life. I think it is transformative power when you discover tools and resources and they work for you. And you put those tools and resources that work for you to use, and it changes the game for you. It changes the life space for you. And I will that. I want that for all of you. I declare that and decree that for all of you, that gratefulness will be that extra additive, that ingredient to the joy and spice that is the dessert of your life. You know, it's a blessing and a privilege to be alive, even though we're in a world where so much is happening. But gratefulness helps you to have the extra spice on it. Hello, Ingrid Poole. Thank you for joining us. I hope you will click share on Facebook and tag some folks. We're on the gratefulness journey. I know we're probably, I think, a day away from your book launching. So congratulations to you. I am sure that you are grateful for that. I'd love to have you. I love it. I love it that you're all in. I'd love to have you on for just a moment, if you're available, to tell us a little bit about your book. I'm grateful for our connection, and I love to share the platform with other new authors as well. And I'm so excited for you on this journey. I'm learning a lot as it relates to promotion and marketing that maybe I didn't know before, as it relates to books, but I'm learning a lot. And I hope that I can share if I can share any of that with you, it would be my pleasure to do that. All right, so let me see. If you are available, I will send you this. See, how can I do it? All right, my cousin Stephanie has joined us too. I'm going to invite you, if you're available, to just join us really quickly. Again, we are live via Restream. We are on Facebook, on Marcus Our Homes page, and the Love and Stuff page. We are on YouTube events. We are on Twitch TV. We are on LinkedIn Live, and we are on Instagram Live, IG Live. And so I thank you wherever you are and however you're tuning in. It is our privilege to have you here, and I'm just so excited that you are here with us. So I'm going to send Ingrid, I'm going to inbox you the link, and you can click on it, and it should bring you right to us. You should be able to join us right here in the studio with me. And so thank you all so much. I am just, I'm excited about the Gratefulness Challenge. I know that, habits are hard to build. They are hard because I think we don't take full utility of stacking our habits with things that are successful. And remember, successful habits don't mean that they're necessarily good for you, right? You and I probably have some habits that aren't very good for us, but they do serve us well. You don't have a habit that doesn't make you feel good or do something for you that you recognize as feeling good, right? That habit does something to serve you well. Now, considering that, that's a good way to think about decreasing a habit or breaking it or adding a new habit. If you can stack a habit in between two powerful positive habits, preferably, put that habit in between, and it's easier for it to catch on, easier for your brain to record it and say, this is the next thing we're supposed to do. Your brain will almost give you a cue, a shortcut to remind you, oh, after I brush my teeth, then I'm going to sit down and do some gratefulness. After I ride that bike, after I work out, while I'm working out, I'm going to have my music on and I'm going to be focusing in on gratefulness. As I'm preparing lesson plans, if I'm a teacher, or I'm preparing a Bible study, if I'm a preacher, or if I'm preparing my week, if I'm a project manager, or if I'm a CEO, I'm sitting down, and right after I finish my weekly plan, I'm going to do moments of gratefulness. And then I'm going to go to my email, and then I'm going to go to my voicemail. If you stack it in between things you do like this, gratefulness will be one of those things that you do like this. And once you do it over and over and over again, you get into a place that I mentioned in the book called flow. You get into flow where you don't even really give a conscious thought to the amount of time that you're giving it because you're in the flow. I call it finally leaving out worry. Oh, okay. Thank you, Ingrid. That's fine. No problem. Finally leaving out worry, or finally leaving out the weight of the outcome. And so those are all things that definitely you want to include in building that habit, because we all have habits, right? Now I want you to take inventory of them and say, that Marcus might be on to something. I got some habits that I really didn't regard as habits that I do without, it appears, any second thought. Well, it's your brain putting them in automaticity, that you do them automatically because they are part of a habit. Whatever it is. I remember a time my dad, bless his memory, part of his habit every morning, he would get up and vacuum without fail. And the next thing he would do was call his brother Kay. They're both gone on the other side. But that was a habit. And nothing interrupted him from that habit because it was like clockwork. I don't think anything had to remind him of that habit. And if you had asked him, hey, what are your habits for the day? Say, oh, well, I get up and I pray and I go out to my garden. And all of those are true, probably. But he might not mention to you the things that he automatically does. And those are the habits I want you to think about in these moments and say, now let me just write down everything I did today and skip over nothing. For the first 20 minutes of your day, write it down. What are the things that you've done? You'd be surprised at the number of things that you've done in a given day. All right. And before we close out, it's 3:26. I just want to share with you this little thing about small wins. As you're going to build habits, small wins. Little small technique that I want you to try as you're thinking about joining the Gratefulness Challenge and building this habit. Try this. On your phone or alarm clock, praise God if you still got an alarm clock. I have one somewhere. Set your alarm clock or timer or stopwatch for 3 minutes. 1, 2, 3 minutes. Okay. And go into the least kempt or the least clean, and let me just say it how it might be said, the messiest area of your house or home and start to clean it for just 3 minutes. You only have 3 minutes. I know you're going to want to keep going after those 3 minutes because you should have been working on that area, if you're like me, of your home. You should have already been working to clean it. I've got a rec room in the basement that needs some cleaning, right? And so I haven't been in that rec room. I won't even tell you how long it's been, but I know there are books in there that I need to separate, and old shoes that I can toss out, some old records that I want to keep, some other things that are important to keep for memorabilia's sake, but a lot of the stuff that could be tossed out. I can't do that in 3 minutes, right? But just take 3 minutes to start there, okay? 3 minutes. And when that buzzer goes off, celebrate everything that you accomplished in those 3 minutes. Even if it's, I picked up this piece of paper and put it neatly in this stack, celebrate it. And spend an additional 3 minutes just celebrating the accomplishments that you did in the first 3. Just celebrate the accomplishments. Brothers, if you have a tool room and you know that tool room is jacked up and your wife or somebody's been on you about that tool room, I wish you clean that tool room up because I'm going to turn it into a baby room, whatever it is. Don't try to do the whole thing at once. Celebrate small wins. Set the timer for 3 minutes and do all that you can do in 3 minutes. Even if you feel like, oh, no, you're rushing against it. You make it in a competition. 3 minutes. And then celebrate every tool that you picked up and put in its place. Every little bit of oil that you were able to scrape up or wipe up or grease or whatever it is, celebrate it for 3 minutes. Not 3 minutes each, but take 3 minutes to celebrate everything you accomplished in that 3 minutes. Take in a deep breath, exhale, and say, I did it. If you learn to celebrate small wins and you make a pattern or a habit of celebrating small wins, before you know it, you will have accomplished big victories. That's the same thing with this habit. We're starting with a gratefulness challenge that you're going to do one thing you're grateful for 5 of the 7 days a week. You could set a timer for 3 minutes and only in those 3 minutes come up with the one thing that you're grateful for, which gives you time to think about it. You probably don't need 30 seconds, but give yourself 3 minutes. And when that 3 minutes is up, celebrate and say, good job, Marcus. You did your gratefulness challenge and you made your post. Good job. Celebrate the small wins. And your brain will take note of that and say, we like how you feel when you accomplish something. We love to feel that way. You should see how you feel. That's what your brain is saying. I'm giving your brain a voice. You should see how you feel when you do that. Serotonin and dopamine and all kind of things are happening. I'm recording this and I'm going to create for you a shortcut to get back to it every time this cue happens. And guess what? You'll walk past that room, that tool room, that rec room and area, and you'll say, 3 more minutes. You hit that little corner and tidied it up. Now you'll bring a mop in there and mop that corner. Sweep it and mop it. Just that corner. Restroom jacked up. That corner is just clean. And take that deep breath while you're squeezing that mop water and pouring it out, saying, good job, Marcus. You cleaned the corner. And your brain, the next time you walk past that room, will cue you. And you'll look in there and say, oh, I got, 1 corner down, 4 corners in the middle section to go. And you will build for yourself a habit of cleanliness around that. And that could be applied to more than cleaning your home. It could be applied to that reading that book that you need to read that has that information or resource that you need to add to your business or your life. You just can't find the time to read that book. Don't read all 600 pages in one sitting. Read however many you can read in 3 minutes. Read however many you can read and review it and highlight words that are resonating with you or that you haven't used or haven't heard, or concepts that are new to you in 3 minutes. And every time you look at that book, your brain will say, maybe you should open it. And you'll open it knowing that you don't have to accomplish the whole thing, but you can accomplish something in 3 minutes. That's what I want you to do with gratefulness this week. For in the moment gratefulness on this week's challenge, whereas in the past we reflected on people who had transitioned and went to heaven, or we reflected on teachers and facilitators, professors and instructors, or people that you have relationship with, right? We reflected on renewal and things in the spring for which you are grateful for. Now I want you to, in the moment, set your timer for 3 minutes and set your timer after a habit that you currently have, and use 3 minutes to come up with one thing that you're grateful for which you can create a post and the hashtag gratefulness challenge. Just 3 minutes. And when you're done, taking a deep breath, exhale and say, good job. Put your name in there. Good job, Marcus. Good job, Estella. Good job, Ingrid. Good job, Shada on LinkedIn. Good job. And the next day, when you start to do that first habit that you've always been doing, your brain will remind you, do you want to do gratefulness now? Did you set your timer? You can even that evening call to yourself and say, when I say call to yourself, speak to yourself and say, oh, it's been a great day. God, you've been so good. I'm a man of faith. I know there are people of multiple faiths, but God, you've been so great. I'm laying down tonight and I'm excited about this gratefulness. And please keep that gratefulness in front of me. So tomorrow, when I brush my teeth, right after I brush my teeth and rinse, I'm going to look in the mirror, God. I'm setting that 3 minutes and I am going to start my gratefulness. And after those 3 minutes, maybe after you say, I'm grateful that my skin is clearing up. Maybe you'll say that because you'll look in the mirror. I don't know. Maybe you'll say, I'm grateful that I have my eyesight is as good as it is. Go to your social media and post that. You don't have to make an elaborate story. I'm just grateful that I was able to make it from the bathroom back to the bed. Whatever it is. Make a post on whichever platform you choose. Put the hashtag gratefulness challenge. Hit post. Take a deep breath and say, good job. Good job. Because one day is the beginning of the micro evolution of change. Change is happening as you step into it. Change doesn't happen after you step into it. It begins as you step into it. As you step into that corner to clean it up. As you're setting that 3-minute timer. As you are awakened that you can fit in a habit where you said you didn't have any more time in the day or week. Change is happening incrementally. And eventually you will see the change. But the change is happening as you began to change. It's 3:36. I on Saturdays really only want to do a half hour to encourage you to join us on the Gratefulness Challenge. Just join us. Simply drop in the comments, I'm all in. Use the hashtag Gratefulness Challenge. And when you type that or click on it, you'll see other people who have posted about this challenge. Some of them in the Americas, I call it, some of them worldwide, some people that are part of other challenges. And the purpose, of course, is to create a habit for you. But I know that this gratefulness challenge is a contagion for others when they see the micro evolutions in you. Thank you, Christina Smith. I'm all in. I put new curtains for the book release. Good feeling. See, there you go. Ingrid, did you tell yourself good job? Pat yourself on the back. I know Ingrid personally, so let me just help her out. Pat yourself on the back and say, good job, Ingrid. Good job. Our personhood, our ego wants to be ingratiated, wants to be patted on the back. And one of the ways that you help to do it to build your own healthy esteem is to pat your own self on the back. Not to boast yourself better than others, but to say, I've accomplished something I set out to do. Good job. And so what? It's not perfect. So what? That corner, you missed a spot. So watch, there's a piece of paper hanging out that's, it got wet and it's crumbling. It's not straight and neat. That's okay. You did it. You took one step toward it, and you should celebrate that small win. And don't let anybody talk you out of celebrating that small win. You deserve that small win. And when you add gratefulness to it, it's going to power your life. And before you know it, you will be on the gratefulness journey every day. Each and every day, you will have it. And you will find that there are different parts of the day that will remind you of that gratefulness. And then you'll be able to use it more often. So it won't be just, okay, it's my habit that I'm just going to do it in the morning. It'll spill over into how you move and navigate throughout the day. It's a journey that has ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. Absolutely. It's not linear. Okay, gratefulness, 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 gratefulness. No, there's going to be stimuli and the absence of stimuli. But what it's going to start to do is level out, that you have more foundation of gratefulness to deal and to ride and navigate those waves that come. So I'm excited to have you, whether you are on IG Live today, LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, Twitch TV, YouTube events. I am excited that you are here with me this afternoon. We're going to be here every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next couple of weeks as we keep moving through this gratefulness challenge. Next week, we want you to set that 3-minute timer and try it for 3 minutes. That 3 minutes is enough time to come up with one thing and to make a quick post. That's what that is, including the gratefulness challenge. And so we're entering week 6. Week 7, we're going to be asking for your video tributes of your mother or your big ma or your TT or whomever has been the mother figure, and what are the lessons that you are grateful for. We just want a 1-minute video or so because we want to highlight that in moments of gratefulness, because I really believe that the consideration of gratefulness, the exchange of value of gratefulness, is when you take your personal testimony around gratefulness and share and live it with others. That's the truest value of exchange of gratefulness. It's good to have gratefulness in your life to navigate, but when it intersects with the life of another, it becomes powerful in their hands. I'm Marcus Holmes, the HR Passion Guy. And I'm also the Love and Stuff activist. And I hope that you will follow us on any or all of these platforms as we seek to live more grateful living. I'm going to reach for my book right now because it's not right in front of me. I just want to encourage you, the gratefulness journey every day, it emerges from my personal journey of loss and how I have worked to navigate through it. And it is available in paperback. It is also available in ebook on Amazon right now exclusively. And it will help. It talks about these gratefulness habits and how you can implement it in your life to transform your life in 30 days. Remember, the change is happening before 30 days. The change is happening as soon as you decide to make the change. The change to that room and to your awareness of small celebrations happens when you enter the room with the intention of cleaning a section of the room. Very small thing, right? But that's when change starts to happen. You just don't feel it and see it as you will see it once the entire room is cleaned, right? But the entire room didn't get cleaned in one day. It took you to clean sections of it, right? It took you to build for you a habit and a process. It took your brain rewiring and creating new pathways and portals. Your brain does that, to get you to go around, to create shortcuts so that it can help you deal more effectively with the things that come up in your life. What an amazing God that he created a brain that could literally change itself based on what you experience. What a phenomenal world and what a phenomenal brain. Christina says, I finally set my office after a year. Good job, Christina. And the clients are pouring in. See there? Come on, pouring in. Marilyn Satterwhite went to church last night. Healing is happening. Marion, she did. Oh, healing is happening. Yeah, see, all of those things. Marion Satterwhite is a part of our Love and Stuff community, and she had some health challenges, was in the hospital, gave us a scare, but she is on the mend, and we are excited and looking forward to seeing her back active in our community. The Gratefulness Journey Every Day. I want you to have this book. See, I mentioned her name, and Ernest Evans came in the room. See there? The Gratefulness Journey Every Day. What are you doing in the next 30 days to transform your life? Well, let's get going. Let's get on day number 1. Day number 1 next Tuesday is set your stopwatch or timer. I can't remember which one it is. Whichever one's going to count up to 3 minutes. How about that? Or count down, however it goes. And then for that small time, I want you to think of one thing you're grateful for, make a post about it, include the hashtag Gratefulness Challenge, 3 minutes, only 3 minutes. And then after you've hit post, I want you to take a deep breath and say, good job. Good job. Put your name in there. Good job, Marcus. You made your post for the Gratefulness Challenge today. After you take that deep breath, which automatically tells you you're not in fight or flight, that's what a deep breath does. It centers you. And when people say centers, it makes you think that there's a foundation, that everything isn't falling apart. Your body is responding. Your brain is responding to whether or not you're in a safe spot. A deep breath says, you know what? I'm safe. And your brain says, okay, we're not in fight or flight, so I can disengage some of these complex processes. And then you say, I'm in gratefulness. And your brain says, oh, these are things that we've made automatic. So now we can deepen your thought. When you're thinking about that thing and innovation rises up, you're like, where did that come from? You were probably, my friends, in flow, right? When you're in trouble and you take a deep breath, you can think more clearly how to navigate out of that bad boy, out of that trouble, right? That's how you're designed. So take that deep breath and then say, good job. And your brain takes note of that. And the next day, it'll be the same thing. And don't forget to stack it in between powerfully good habits. Stack it in between those. Now, I can't really argue that checking your notifications in the morning is a powerfully good habit, but it's a habit that most of us, a lot of us do. A lot of people who use their cell phone for a lot of stuff, or their computers or desktop or laptop for a lot of stuff, awaken and check their notifications within the first 20 minutes. And if that's you, that's a habit that you can stack this one right behind or before. Just Monday night, say, tomorrow when I check my notifications, I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes or 33 minutes, excuse me. Or if you have a phone that you can say, hey, Siri, set a timer for tomorrow for 3 minutes at such and such time. If you can do that, that's even better. But stack it right after or before something that you do without thinking. Preferably right after and right before something else. So put it at the meat as in the sandwich. And watch how that habit will take off and become a part of what you do each and every day. I'm Marcus Holmes, last time, brand new author. I'm excited about the book. I hope that you will help us get it back to number 1. It debuted at number 1 in short reads, self-help. I'd like to get it back there and sell tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of copies. Of course, I'm biased. But I need you to read it and leave us a review on Amazon. Right now we have 4.7 out of 5 stars, and you can help us to maintain that or make it even higher. I think it's a great read, but I want your opinion, and I hope that you will purchase it and leave a review. I'm Marcus Holmes again. I think I've said that a ton of times, and I want to thank you wherever you're watching, however you're watching, and I hope that you will join us on this journey. Thank you, Valerie Colbert, one of my favorites. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'd love to have your review. Thank you so much. I love Valerie Colbert Osunwadi, and you're going to be hearing more from her on this platform. She's a busy, busy lady, but I wanted to have some time away, Val, from the verdict and from the death that happened, the young lady, Miss Bryant, that same day, to kind of just talk through that with some of our brilliant minds, such as you, and social activists such as you, because it'll be a few weeks before we see sentencing. And so I want to, you know, have that discussion in our Love and Stuff community. And those of you that are on other platforms, it's an extraordinary community. We talk about a lot of things that deal with love in your sanctuary at work, love in your church, love in your relationships, love of yourself, love of your God, love of your community. And so we realize that the George Floyd killing and the verdict uh, speaks to us all in various ways. So we do want to have some dialogue around that, because we believe it impacts the way that we navigate and will navigate forward in this world of love. What the world needs is more love, right? We want justice and we want equity and we want clarity, but we want more love. But when you are experiencing some of the things that we've seen, love might look differently and love might navigate differently for your survival. And so we want to have some discussion. And it is, as Val was saying, a very important thing to discuss, because there are tons of African American men, especially women and children as well, that still, we're still looking for the other shoe to drop in a sentencing. There's so many emotions that are happening. So we want to create a safe space for people to talk through it. And we believe that the Love and Stuff community is a safe space. So you should join us there. We're very valued people like Val. We love her so much. And so thank you so much. As you can see, I have the gift to gab. But I am excited to have you on this challenge. All of you should be on the challenge. Tuesday, join us at 8:30. Of course, you're going to do your challenge moment, right? But join us at 8:30 for Love and Stuff. We're going to have a special couple on, Taft and Sue Cleveland. They have an extraordinary love story, and you want to be there. And you'll also get to see some of she's called Mason Tone, some of her wonderful designs that she has done. She has a store on Etsy, and she can take your clothes and do some amazing I don't even know what the word is, redos with your clothes. And she's done some extraordinary pieces that we're going to showcase some of them and talk with her and her husband about their marriage and commuting and all of the things that they have done to make their marriage work for them. And so you don't want to miss that at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then next Saturday is May 1st, and the next episode of Sports Talk with Kamal and Felix. So if you're a sports aficionado or fan, they're going to be talking about the NBA draft, which I think starts that Thursday before and closes out that weekend. So that will be one of the highlights of their discussion live on Love and Stuff and other platforms. Just a number of voices that we're seeking to elevate in the Love and Stuff community who really has something to say that you should hear. And so I just wanted to make those few announcements, and I'm going to bid you a great afternoon. I don't know where you are, but it looks like spring today. And it looks like a place that you can go and sit out on your porch and find some neighbors, some grass, some plants, something for which to be grateful. What about you? What are you grateful for today? Have you spent any time with it and acknowledged it and enjoyed and savored it? When you do, you will harness the power of gratefulness to transform in those moments your frame of thinking as to the condition of our world and your responsibility to live more lovingly and gratefully in it. Have a great Saturday afternoon, and I'll see you on the other side of the challenge on Tuesday.